right, hello everyone. It has been a I, I it has been a long time. Sorry, I am okay. I'll just leave it up then. I don't know why it has to make that sound every time it beeps. I don't know if you can hear that, but how bizarre. How bizarre. Yeah, it's been a while, about almost 3 years since I last recorded a video, and I decided I would do it again because I want to. I'm gonna try. I'm really gonna try hard this time. I keep saying it, but this time I might actually mean it. And so I decided I wanted to talk about writing. Um, I am a writer. I've been writing for a very long time, and I don't know. I really like it. I want to talk about it for a little bit. So yeah, why not? So, sorry about if that's kind of bright right there. I don't. Maybe I'll just move over here. Over this way. The video is mirrored, so that's like kind of weird. Whatever, it's fine. No big deal. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about writing and what it means to me. So, part one, how did I get into writing? I've always been inspired by pop culture and entertainment as a kid. I grew up on a farm, and so my source of fun was two things. It was mainly the TV shows and movies and books that I absorbed, and it was my imagination. And so, all the cartoons at the time. So I was born in 1997. So anyone around that time, then you probably understand what cartoons, what shows were on at the time. A lot of Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network. That's kind of where I got that start. And I don't know. I think because as a kid, I was always really big into nature and biology. So I always loved shows about aliens or monsters or something like that. So Martin Mystery, Ben 10, the Monster Hunter Squad. There's a lot out there. That was a big part of my childhood. And then eventually, when I was a kid, I found a little franchise called Star Wars, and that changed my life. it was a summer in junior high, so around 7th, 8th grade. I think it was between 6th and 7th grade. I was watching God, what was it? It was a documentary of Revenge of the Sith, and just like the process. And for whatever reason, something in me just clicked on that, and I was like, I want to do that. And so I did. And, well, I mean, I'm not right now, obviously, but that is the dream I'm pushing towards. So during my schooling, in my free time, I would often write stories, and I would draw monsters for fun. I'm not a very good artist, unfortunately. I wish I was, but I wasn't. And it was during that time as a very young teenager, so that 13, 14 years of age, that's where I started putting in the work and like coming up with an idea. And so I had been working on the idea throughout high school, and I even actually started writing it a little bit, and then the file got corrupted and it got deleted. So I was very sad about that, and it made me not want to write for a while because I was sad about that. But it was actually when college happened in 2016 that I had started writing my first script. And it was literally, when did I start it? I don't recall, but it took me about a month to write it, and I was super proud of myself. I still am very proud of myself for writing that in a month. I was just so into it. And so a lot of time in class, I often worked on writing when classes I felt were being very boring. And then, of course, in my spare time, I worked on the world building. And I'll have to talk about this later because I'm referring to the big one. We'll call it for now the big one. That was like the one I worked on the most, and then there's a whole bunch of other little side projects I also have been working on. But in my spare time, I mainly focused on that specific story. And in college, I was a part of. I was in a club, not just any club, but Star Wars Club. In Star Wars Club, we did the Fantasy Flight Games RPG, the Star Wars one, and so then around that time I was also getting into Dungeons and Dragons. So I was kind of getting into that world of storytelling, and that's where a lot of my inspiration also came from. And during this time, I worked really hard on improving my writing. It's still a work in progress. I don't think I'm perfect. Nobody's perfect. But thankfully, I had several college classes. There was one at the that was not part of my college's curriculum, but instead it was being taught at the local theater, and that was actually by a guy who worked in Hollywood as an editor, and I think a writer too. So that was cool. That was great. I also did a theater class on scripts, which was a good time. And then we also did, well, I did, and then I did a movie class, which was fun. But unfortunately, I was taking it in my last semester, which at the same time was when the COVID pandemic happened, and so we had to do everything online for the rest of the year, and that made that class a lot harder to do then. So I was bummed out about that. But now here I am, having graduated about, let's see, 2020. So one, two. I mean, I guess I am in my third year of graduating, which is absolutely insane to me. But I've been working on my writing the best that I can. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and lie that I write 10 hours a day for 6 days a week. I mean, I write when I can and when I want to. I don't want to write something that I'm not proud of, but that's just because I'm too prideful in my own work, and I don't know. It's something that I need to work on though. But at this time, I've got some works in progress. I've actually switched over from doing a script for the big one, and I'm actually writing it as a novel. So now I'm taking all my screenwriting knowledge and I'm having to do a novel, and that's fun. It's been interesting. I want to do it. I'll talk more about this in a later video. But the big one has a very specific way that I want to write it to a degree, but I'm not sure how well that will translate overall, you know? I'm proud of all the work that I've done, though. I mean, I haven't been doing this since I was 13 for nothing. I mean, gosh, I'm 25 now, 26 in a few months, so I mean, I've been committed to this the whole time. So I work really hard on it, and I think it's truly something special because I feel like it's not only something that I want to see, but I think it's something that audiences would want to see as well, or people who are going to be reading the books at least. As for the my future, I'm gonna keep working on this novel. I'm about to start chapter 3 on it, so I'm not very far in. And once I finish that, I'm gonna do a do-over on it just to, make sure it's written in a consistent pacing that I'm happy with. And then I guess I'll find a literary agent and then find someone who wants to do my book. And then I guess I'll just go from there. I do have a lot of short story ideas as well that I could do. That could be fun. So that's what my future is. I was thinking maybe doing like a WordPress account and write my short stories on there. I don't want to do like a uh God, what are they called? Like the fan fiction sites. I don't necessarily want to do that there. I think I'd rather. Well, maybe I don't know. If anyone is watching this video, I'd love to hear some recommendations as to where I could post my short stories for, for fun. Um, and so I think I'm gonna make this video come to an end now. Um, but that's kind of just where my writing inspiration has come from. And I hope that from these videos, I get more followers and more videos made out of this. And I'd love to talk about writing with other people. I enjoy writing. I'm not like an expert on like writer history. Like I can't really name that many famous writers either, to be honest. Um, but I think with time and with speaking to one another about writing and world building, which is something I really want to dive deep into, then I think that would be a really fun thing to do. I'd love to talk about world building. I think that's one of the most fun things to do. And there's just so much you can do about it too, you know? So, to anyone out there who's interested in the arts, the creatives, like writing and editing and everything that you can think of that would fit in that category, I mean, let's hear it. I wanna talk to you guys about it, right? So, like, subscribe, comment, please. I'd love to hear from you guys, and I will see. I'll look at the camera. That's gonna be something I have to work on too. I have to look straight at that green dot. I like to keep looking at the video here. I'm looking at me now, and now I'm looking at you. So I have to learn to do that some more. But I'm also kind of going off of a script, right? I don't know. I'm new to this, so we'll see what happens. Thank you, and I hope to hear from you real soon. Goodbye.